to work for a company like Hormel that has the vision to reach out beyond its walls, to reach out to its employees and challenge them to grow within themselves and to show them that the company is more than just these four walls.
It's an experience that you'll never forget. It will push you outside of your comfort zone. It will make you grow as a person. It'll make you grow as a leader.
It's more than just product. It's actually our whole company working together to make a difference in a country's life. Project Spammy really started as Jeff Ettinger's idea, and he had heard about Plumpy Nut, which is really designed to be that last fighting chance for malnutrition for kids in Africa.
And Jeff's thought was, well, we do protein awfully well. Why couldn't we do something in a proactive approach to address malnutrition? So he basically came back with the idea to R&D, turned them loose, and then they came up with Spammy.
We began a partnership with Food for the Poor and Caritas that helped us get the distribution from Beloit, Wisconsin, where we produce it, down to Miami, Florida, where Food for the Poor then ships it into Guatemala, and Caritas is then our feet on the ground and helps with the distribution to getting it out to the villages that need it.
Guatemala, which is not the poorest country in the Western Hemisphere, has by far the worst situation in regards with nutrition and children. And it is our pride and joy that a large organization like Hormel Foods has partnered with us to try to ease the suffering of parents who lose their children either to stunting, to disease, or to death.
Spammy is a product that's specifically designed to address malnutrition, but it's also addressing the cognitive side, which is absolutely critical, so they can both learn and grow.
We didn't just want to give them calories. We wanted to give them animal protein because they were lacking protein in their diets, but also the essential vitamins and minerals they were lacking in their diets.
Originally when we came here, these young boys did not have this energy level. They're normal kids now. They love the product. Their test grades have improved. The nuns would say they're taking better notes in school. And that's where it really kind of heightened our expectations that yes, we could make a difference.
The beauty of Spammy is it mixes in with whatever the culture's diet is. It can be spread on tortillas, it can be mixed in with rice, it can be mixed in with beans. So you don't have to change their habits. It becomes like an ingredient into their everyday diets. And that's really one of the basic elements that makes this product so attractive.
The project itself, it's a three-legged stool. The first is hunger. The second is improving the mental health of the person that's consuming Spammy versus just the physical health. And then thirdly, through the employee engagement trips. This engages the company on a much different level.
Guatemala has malnutrition in children, and specifically stunted growth in children.
People are living literally in shacks with a tin roof and bamboo walls, dirt floors. They're stacked one right next to the other. They're built on the sides of cliffs. So these people are destitute.
When we go to some of those rural villages, it is hard to believe that people still live like that when you compare it back to life here. So I think the biggest surprise to me was just how big and widespread this problem is and how we really have touched on such a key issue, and we are making a difference.
Didn't take long for us to really jump right into the activities. So partaking in the preparation of meals, the serving of meals, delivering food to the homes. My sons were carrying 50-pound bags of rice up and down some pretty steep hills.
We had plenty of time to meet with the families. We got to tour their homes. They were gracious enough to let us in to see where they live and what they experience on a daily basis, which was a great experience for me personally and for my wife, but probably more so for our kids, to see how their life is so much different than the kids in Guatemala, and the things that we have here that we maybe take for granted that they do not have in the places that we visited in Guatemala.
I would say one of the unique aspects also that people probably don't know so much is we rely a lot on education as well as dietary improvement. We incorporated several workshops for both parents and caregivers for the children that focused on topics such as food safety and food-related hygiene and the importance of nutrition for all ages.
We had 2 full days in one village where we worked directly with children and families. So we set up what we called dream stations for the children to be able to learn some things in maybe a different way to sort of expand their horizons.
Our dream station that our family was to manage were journals where the kids could put down, kind of what they dreamed to be someday, whether it was a fireman, a policeman, a teacher. Other stations were teaching them how to use computers, using Play-Doh and other things just to have some fun time. But the idea was to give them the experience to really have time in the school where they could dream and have fun and kind of escape from what challenges they might have in their other daily lives.
I think the future of the project is bright. We've committed to stay in Guatemala, and the success of the employee engagement trips has been huge, both for the people that we're working with in Guatemala and for our own employees.
I had no idea what it would be like when I went down, but I came back with a whole new perspective, not only of just life in general, but of our company. Knowing that Hormel is going above and beyond in this project and making a difference and allowing their employees to be involved, it's very rewarding. You come back having a great appreciation for what you do have. It's very impactful, life-changing.
The hugs and the smiles that those moms gave us, it was something you'll never forget. Being able to hear the moms talk about, my child was always sick, my child was always tired and sleeping and she never played. A year later, the mom is telling us she's jumping on the bed and she's happy and she's running around kicking balls in the yard. As a mother myself, there's no better feeling than knowing you're providing for your child and you're making a difference in your child's life.
To use some of our culture and ingenuity and innovation to address a major issue globally that I think can have some long-term impacts. I think this could be one of the most important legacies that Hormel Foods ever developed.
Find a million reasons not to go, but when you get there, you'll find a million reasons why you're glad that you went. It's a week full of rewarding work, and when you see the appreciation, the gratitude, and the thankfulness of these kids, these communities, it makes it all worthwhile.